Video 2, Jurisdiction for filing of Act cases. What changes took place after Amendment Act 2015? Landmark cases of Apex Court. Procedure to be followed for filing of check bounce cases. Do subscribe the channel Drive on Law and click bell icon to get notifications by Drive on Law. Negotiable Instrument Amendment Act 2015. The legal position regarding territorial jurisdiction of courts in cases of dishonor of checks has completely changed with the above new ordinance. The Negotiable Instrument Amendment Ordinance 2015, which has been promulgated by the President on 26 December 2015 and which has retrospectively come into force with effect from 15th June 2015. In view of the Honorable Supreme Court judgment dated August 1, 2014 in the case of Dasharath Roop Singh Rathod vs. State of Maharashtra and others, Criminal Appeal Number 2287 of 2009, inter alia held that territorial jurisdiction for dishonor of checks is restricted to the court within whose local limits the offence was committed. That is, where the check is dishonored by the bank on which it is drawn. A 3-judge bench of Supreme Court in Dasharath Roop Singh Rathod in Criminal Appeal of 2009 gave its verdict in order to settle the issue as to which court has a territorial jurisdiction in an offence committed under Section 138 of an Act for dishonor of check, commonly known as a case of check bouncing. The Supreme Court held that the territorial jurisdiction is restricted only to the court within whose local jurisdiction the offence was committed, which is where the check is dishonored by the bank on which it is drawn. Thus, it was held that such a case could not be filed in any other court except the court where the offence was committed. Means, by the Dasharath Roop Singh case, the Supreme Court has laid down the ground that the case can be filed where the check was dishonored, from the bank where the check was dishonored. In that bank only the payee has to, means in the jurisdiction of the said bank only the payee has to file the case. This was laid down by the above judgment. For example, in a court in whose area the check was presented, in a bank by the payee, or where the notice was issued, etc. The judgment was aimed at ensuring that such cases are not filed at places other than the place where the bank account from which the check was issued, that is, the branch of the bank on which the check was drawn is located. That means where the check was dishonored, on the said jurisdiction, means on the said bank's jurisdiction only the payee has to file the case. So that was laid down by the above judgment. Thus the Supreme Court set an old controversy about the territorial jurisdiction in check bouncing cases to rest. However, within a month of the aforesaid judgment of the Supreme Court, a single judge bench of the Bombay High Court vide its judgment dated August 25, 2014 in the case of Ramanbai Madhurbai Patel vs. State of Maharashtra, has resigned the old controversy again, as again created the uncertainty as to where a check bouncing case can be filed. So basing on that, on September 22, 2015, the President of India has promulgated another new ordinance on the subject, namely Negotiable Instrument Amendment 2nd Ordinance 2015, which shall be deemed to have come into existence with effect from June 15, 2015, the date from which the first such ordinance had come into effect. This was to ensure continuity from the first such ordinance issued on June 15, 2015. This means that the period from August 31, 2015 to September 22, 2015, during which there was no such ordinance in operation, shall also be deemed to have been covered under this new ordinance issued on September 22, 2015. Means the Act came into force from the June 15, 2015 only. Negotiable Instrument Amendment Act 2015 was passed in the Lok Sabha seeking to overturn a Supreme Court 2014 ruling. The amendment passed by the Lok Sabha provides that cases of bouncing of checks can be filed only in a court in whose jurisdiction the bank branch of the payee person who receives the check lies. If a complaint against a person issuing a check has been filed in the court with the appropriate jurisdiction, then all subsequent complaints against that person will be filed in the same court irrespective of the relevant jurisdiction area. The bill has now passed inserting section 142 clause 2 and the highlights of the amendment is shared below. The highlights are: the amendment has come into force from June 15, 2015. A check in electronic form has been defined as check drawn in electronic form by using any computer resource and signed in a secure system with a digital signature with or without biometric signature and asymmetric crypto system or with electronic signature as the case may be. Section 142 has been amended to include that the check bounce matter is to be filed within the court whose jurisdiction of the payee or holder in due course check is delivered for collection through an account. If the check is presented for payment by the payee or holder in due course or otherwise through an account, the branch of the drawee bank where the drawer maintains the account, then the case would be filed in same jurisdiction. According to the Amendment Act of 2015, we have the two jurisdictions. One is payees, where the payee has the bank account. If in the payee's account, if the check was instituted for a withdrawal of the amount, if the check was returned as insufficient fund or any other reason, then within the jurisdiction of the payee, with the jurisdiction of where the court is located, in that the payee has to file the complaint against the drawer. So other jurisdiction is if that is a bearer check. Means if the payee does not have any account in the particular branch which was issued by the drawer, then in which bank the drawer has the account and which bank the drawer has issued the check, in that the payee has to institute the case. So here the two jurisdictions was laid down as per the amendment of 2015, that is a crossed check and also the bearer check. Effect of amendment. The amendment paved the way for transfer of all cases in appropriate jurisdiction as per the amendment, notwithstanding in anything contained in any judgment, decree and order. Post-transfer, all subsequent checks bounce matters against the drawer would be filed in the same jurisdiction where the transfer has been effected under the Amendment Act. Means this act has come in a retrospective way. So whatever the cases which were pending in the courts also has to be transferred according to the ordinance which was laid down by the legislation, that is that to the payee's bank. So here payee's jurisdiction. So even previous cases also has to be transferred to the jurisdiction according to the Amendment Act. Check is most common form of negotiable instrument used by all of us. The recent judgment has triggered jurisdiction debate. However, the ordinance and amendment has taken care of concerns of all stakeholders. Supreme Court judgment is now of no consequence since the Amendment Act supersedes it. New clause, that is section 142 clause 2, has been added in section 142 and a new subsection. Section 142A has been inserted into the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Here is what is done by the Amendment Act. A check bouncing case can be filed only in the court at the place where the bank in which the payee has an account is located, except in case of bearer checks which are presented to the branch of the drawee bank. In that case, the local court of that branch would get jurisdiction. Once you have filed a check bounce case in one particular court at a place in this manner, subsequently if there is any other check of the same party drawer which has also bounced, then all such subsequent check bounce cases against the same drawer will also have to be filed in the same court, even if you present them in some bank in some other city or area. This will ensure that the drawer of the check is not harassed by filing multiple check bounce cases at different locations. All check bounce cases which are pending as on 15 June 2015 in different courts in India will be transferred to the court which has jurisdiction over the place where the bank of the payee is located. If there are multiple check bounce cases pending between the same parties as on 15 June 2015, then all such multiple cases will be transferred to the court where the first case has jurisdiction as per the above principle. New development in law: mediation for offences under section 138 of NI Act. Means earlier it was not there that 138 cases can be compounded as per section 320 of CRPC. However, in a remarkable judgment passed by the Delhi High Court in Dayavati versus Yogesh Kumar Gosen, it was held that it is legal to refer a criminal compoundable case as under section 138 of NI Act to mediation. The question of law was whether it is permissible to refer a criminal matter such as under section 138 for settlement through mediation. While considering the question of law, the court has drawn a line of distinction between traditional criminal cases and offences under section 138 of NI Act. The High Court battled with the power of a criminal court to refer the criminal cases for mediation and the nature of proceedings under section 138 of NI Act. The court, after referring to various statutory provisions, observed that though neither the CRPC nor the NI Act provides for any particular provision which confers power on the criminal court to refer a case for mediation, the court can still refer a criminal case for mediation as compounding of criminal case is permissible under section 320 of CRPC. The court basically relied on section 19 clause 5 of Legal Service Authority Act 1987, which gives jurisdiction to Lok Adalat to settle any case pending before or falling under jurisdiction of any court. In addition to that, the court in the case expounded the procedure that is to be followed in cases of mediation for offences under section 138 NI Act and also outlined the contents of the settlement. So after this judgment, even the courts can refer the cases if the parties are intended to compromise for mediation. The Honorable Supreme Court of India in MS Himalaya Self-Forming Group versus MS Goyal Feed Suppliers Transfer Petition Criminal Number 273 of 2020 held that the court within whose jurisdiction the branch of the bank where payee maintains the account is situated will have jurisdiction to try the offence under the NI Act 1881. The check is delivered for collection through an account. So here are the two examples for better understanding. Mr. A holds an account in Gun Foundry SBI Bank Hyderabad, issues a check payable to favor of B. B, who holds an account with the Union Bank Kothagudem Khammam branch, deposits the said check at the Union Bank Kothagudem Khammam and the check is dishonored. The complainant, so the complainant here is B, will have to be filed before the court having jurisdiction where the Union Bank Kothagudem Khammam is situated. Another example for you: A holds an account with the Gun Foundry branch Abids Hyderabad of SBI Bank, issues a check payable in favor of B. B presents the check at the Kukatpalli branch of the SBI Bank, but B does not hold an account in any branch of the SBI Bank and the check is dishonored. The complainant will have to be filed before the court having jurisdiction over the gun foundry branch Abids Hyderabad of SBI. Means this is a bearer check. The payee does not have the account in the said branch which was issued by the drawer. Then he has to file the case where the drawer has the account, means that is gun foundry branch Abids Hyderabad gets the jurisdiction. So payee has to file the case in the said jurisdiction. To summarize, when the check is delivered for collection through an account, the complaint is to be filed before the court where the branch of the bank is located, where the payee or the holder in due course maintains his account, and when the check is presented or payment over the bank, the complaint is to be filed before the court where the drawer maintains his account. So these two jurisdictions were given by the 2015 Amendment Act. Do subscribe the channel Drive on Law and click bell icon to get notifications by Drive on Law. On next video of the Enact, we go with the landmark judgments which are related to the 138 Enact. Thank you.